Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Division. I am Death from Above. Today, I want to talk about a gun. A gun in The Division. So, what I usually do for my weapon videos is I will take a gun that I enjoy in the game, take it, look at, for The Division, look at the gun's history and lineage and kind of the ins and outs of the real-life weapon, because all of these guns in The Division are based on real-life weapons. So we'll give some history of the weapon, talk about it, and then we'll talk about in-game performance. We'll talk about the gun's pros and cons. We'll talk about PvE performance. We'll talk about Dark Zone performance. I'll kind of give it an overall, arbitrary grade that I envisioned for myself. And that's kind of what we're going to do. So, today we're talking about the M60 machine gun. Background on the M60. It is officially the United States machine gun, the caliber 7.62 millimeter M60. Is a family of American general-purpose machine guns firing 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO cartridges from a disintegrating belt of M13 links. I think that's pretty cool because it means the ammo is put together with links, not a belt or not a mag. It's just basically you just connect them with links. It is generally used as a crew-served weapon and operated by a team of 2 or 3 individuals. That's interesting because we are a one-man team in The Division. The M60 can be accurately fired at short ranges from the shoulder thanks to its design. It may also be fired from the integrated bipod, M122 tripod, and some other mounts. I think that would be really cool to have in The Division if we had a bipod or a tripod we could kind of lay down on cover. That would be really neat to add a lot of stability to a gun like this. But maybe later. It was introduced in 1957. It has served with every branch of the U.S. military and still serves with other armed forces. Its manufacture and continued upgrade for military and commercial purchase continues into the 21st century, though it has been replaced or supplemented in most roles by other designs, notably the M240 in U.S. service. I believe we have an M249B in the game that is the successor to the M60. If I'm not incorrect, don't hold me on that. But so my M60 has currently balanced and ferocious, I believe. Let me check. What is the talent that mine has? Balance. I know it has balance. Balance is almost a mandatory talent on some of these. And vicious. So balance, which means my weapon reaches max accuracy faster when shouldering, and vicious, critical hit chance is increased by 10.5% while at full health. So this one, that's the one that I'm using. I've had others, and I currently have others that have different talents, but that was pretty cool. I love balanced as a talent. I don't know how much I like it on a machine gun, but on my marksman rifle, balance is almost a necessity. But balance on the machine gun definitely helps too. Gets your aim in real close, real tight, real quick, and the critical hit chance is always nice. But M60 over in all is an interesting gun in The Division because it is a light machine gun. But we're basically using it as an assault rifle because, I know in a squad of 4 people, you can use it to lay down cover fire and draw aggression, and that might be what the general purpose is for it in-game. Some of the pros and cons, some of the situations where it's good and bad. Pros, it has a ton of bullets. It makes a ton of noise. It sounds extremely menacing. But on the flip side of that, it's not the most DPS heavy weapon. It fires a lot of bullets, but the bullets don't hit that hard. I mean, your submachine gun hits harder than this. This one has more range than your submachine gun, but if you don't have a stability, you're not going to be hitting much. You're just going to be making a lot of noise and hopefully suppressing people. So this may be a gun that's more useful in the role of a suppression weapon or an aggro drawing weapon. So you want to kind of have some health, be behind cover, and just lay down heavy suppressive fire on the enemy so your other team can either flank them, get their marksman shots on them, or move around on them. That's generally, I think, the purpose of this weapon currently until it, like, maybe they might bring up the damage a little bit or something, because it's just, it's an interesting weapon because it sounds so mean and it's so heavy, but it just does not do a lot of damage. It does a good amount of damage over the whole clip, but something like an SMG is going to burn an enemy down much, much faster. So that's kind of the pros and cons of the gun. It's big, it's bulky, it's kind of hard to use, but it lays down a lot of bullets, and it sounds really mean. PvE performance, so in the free world, free roam, it's pretty cool. I have fun just taking it, running side missions, or doing an encounter, or running around the map. It's good for burning down enemies your same level or below. In the missions, in the hard missions, I have used it. It's not as effective as other things, but depending on what role you're playing in your team. So if you're going to play an aggressor with, staying behind cover but drawing enemy fire, it's a good gun for that. As long as your team knows that's your purpose and they're playing to augment that, it's a good gun for that. But as far as challenge missions, unless you have one with very good talents that very specifically benefits you in a challenge mission, I probably would steer away from it. Go with an SMG and a marksman rifle. That's just generally how the game goes right now. Maybe they will change that in the future, but I don't know. Dark zone performance. I actually don't mind it in the dark zone. It's pretty good. You can use it to keep a whole group of enemies at bay. It helps if you have more than one. If you're solo, I would not recommend it. Solo, it's not going to be very good for you. But if you're running in a group, it might be useful, because you can definitely use it to suppress the enemies, especially when you're fighting a group of enemies and maybe one comes up behind you. Use it to suppress one group while you take out the other, or use it to take out one group while everybody flanks them. So it's a solid gun. It's useful in certain situations, like the suppression, or the just drawing aggression, or just being loud and aggressive. You definitely want to put some stability upgrades on it. Without the stability, it is pretty wild. It's a pretty wild gun without stability, especially if you don't have the balance talent. So overall, I'd probably give it a B-. It is more useful than I thought it was going to be when I first started using it, but not as useful as I want it to be. So generally, probably an improvement would just be bring up the damage a little bit on all light machine guns. I just don't think they're strong enough. SMGs just outclass them in everything that's not long range. So just a little bit more damage, maybe just a little bit more damage, and it would be nice, because in reality, in real life, that bullet hits you, you're going down hard, because that's a 7.62 rifle bullet. So it fires heavy ammunition, so it should do a lot of damage. But I think probably if it did the damage comparable to real world in game, it would be a monster, and you wouldn't be the way it's being used. It would be unbalanced. So anyway, guys, that's the M60 machine gun in the Division. Let me know what you think. Do you have one? Do you like it? What do you use? What are your talents on your M60? And what other guns do you want me to take a look at? Leave it in the comments below. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Until next time, I'm Death Above, and I will see you later. See you, bye!